don't know about you, but I need a reset. Spring 2025 was a bit of a rough time as well as a very busy time. I'm a person who thrives on routine. When I have a schedule, I typically find that I'm more productive and I can get a lot more stuff done. But I'm also a person who can get thrown off of a schedule very quickly. And that's really annoying. Not that I really had a routine or a schedule necessarily at the start of the year, but after a lot of personal life stuff and a lot of traveling, I'm really lacking a routine and I desperately need one. So I'm going to do a reset for summer. We don't currently have any major travel plans for the rest of the year. And plus, I signed up for 2 races in the fall that I really need to train for. So a summer reset is the thing that needs to happen. And I know myself, and I know if I don't force myself to sit down and plan a reset, nothing's going to happen. What I need and want to do is get back into a regular workout routine, plan out my training schedule, plan out my booktube content for at least the next few months, and get back into a consistent streaming schedule. Forgive the weird lighting. It's been a really rainy morning, so it's been raining and then the sun will come out and then the rain comes back and I don't know what's happening, but we're just going to go with it. For my workout and running routine, I took one of Hal Higdon's 10-mile running plans and adapted it to fit my schedule from now until October. I've doubled up on some of the weeks and adjusted some of the build up and step back weeks to fit my schedule and my training better because I'm basically starting at 0 with my running training. I started running back in 2012, and while I've taken some breaks throughout the years, this last break has been the longest one to date. I DNF'd Chicago in October of 2023 and then just kind of stopped running. I did one 5K back in May of 2024 and then a month-long running charity event in August of 2024, but since then, nothing. So while I have over a decade's worth of running training in my head that I've picked up in the past, my body doesn't remember any of it. So I'm just going to start slow and be as consistent as possible with training. Streaming. I've been streaming on Twitch for a little over 3 years now. And back when I was full-time in California, I took multiple long breaks from live streaming because work was just draining me physically, emotionally, and mentally. Especially at the end of the week, I just wouldn't have the spoons to turn on the camera and be on for even just a couple of hours. I've taken a lot of breaks. I've been more consistent this past year and at the beginning of this year. But once I started making YouTube videos, streaming's just kind of taken more of a backseat. Honestly, I'm having a lot more fun making YouTube videos, but I am still going to try to keep a streaming schedule. Right now, streaming on Wednesdays and Fridays seems to be the most doable for me because trying to balance that plus editing, the filming, coming up with content, everything for YouTube, trying to do all of that and stream like 3 to 4 days a week for me is just going to be a little too overwhelming. For reading plans, I already have some books planned out for some buddy reads in the upcoming months, but in the past, I typically haven't planned out my reads months in advance. I'm a big mood reader, so the few times I've tried that, I'll get to that month and then just not want to read anything that I picked out. But I've got a lot of ideas for upcoming videos, and while some of the books that I've read have been a big miss, I'm still excited for most of the books that I've picked out. I think my biggest roadblock is going to be myself because it typically is. I've been struggling with not necessarily needing to have a routine for quite a while, so I haven't forced it. And now that I'm trying to jump back in and solidify a routine, it's going to be a challenge. I'm adding in a lot of stuff at once, and I know typically when you're trying to create a new routine, you add in one thing at a time and build on that. As per usual, I've waited until the last minute, and we can wait no longer. That really pertains to my race training. I really need to get back to training. If I had a solid base, then I wouldn't be as worried, but I don't. So I'm starting from 0, and if I want to get to the start line uninjured in October, I need to start now. As for booktube content, I'm going to try to stick to what I think I can maintain consistently, which is uploading once a week. If I can upload more than that, great. If I get too busy and too overwhelmed, I can always miss a week as needed. But The only pressure from BookTube is coming from myself because I'm still working on building up a community here. I'm filming this on Monday, June 9th, following a fairly busy weekend after my husband's birthday this past Friday. The morning started off not with a bang. I did not want to get out of bed, and I definitely hit off on the 2 alarms that I set on my Garmin. But I still got up at a decent time, around 7, and I managed to get a decent amount of work done for some YouTube content that I've planned out. So that's not a bad start. And the only thing on my workout routine for today is either a stretch or a walk. And it's been a little bit rainy today, so if it clears up later, I might try to go for a little walk. And if not, I will try to do maybe a short yoga routine or something. So I'm starting off okay, I guess. I used to look at the full week ahead to see, like, especially for my training, like what was coming up and if I needed to swap any days around. But I may need to scale that back and just look one day at a time. While I was sitting here thinking about this video earlier and trying to make some notes, I remembered that back when I was in my bullet journal era, what I would do the night prior is plan out the next day, and that seemed to work out pretty well. I was pretty consistent and stuck to whatever that day's plan was going to be. So I may try to incorporate journaling back into the routine as well. So those are my plans for my summer reset. I might try to do some short vlogs here and there to try to check in every so often. And summer officially starts on June 20th, so there is still time to reset or create a routine if you want to. Let me know below in the comments if you have any tips on staying consistent while trying to create a routine, or if you're going to join me for a summer reset. Make sure you like and subscribe to follow along with my reset and all my other content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.